Hey guys, it's Nicole. So for breakfast on this day, I wasn't super hungry because I have been a little bit sick. So I just had some really easy quick cooking oats. This is just some organic quick cooking oats that I get from Whole Foods. I mixed it with a little bit of sea salt, which I really think brings out the flavor. And then I did a mixture of water, some soy milk, and a little bit of vanilla extract for some flavor. And then I just popped this in the microwave for about a minute and a half. I actually really love microwaving oats because they get really thick and creamy that way. I like to add some ground flaxseed as well, just to, well, thicken it up, and then also add some omegas and some extra fiber. And then my favorite thing to do, you've probably seen me do this, is add some vegan yogurt and berries. It's unsweetened vegan yogurt. And then I just take some frozen berries, today it was blueberries, and I will often just add a little bit of maple syrup, sometimes some fresh orange juice, like a squeeze of orange juice, and I'll put that in a Tupperware container and let it thaw, and that way I have it for breakfast throughout the week. Another thing I've been loving is putting some tahini on my oatmeal. It is so creamy and it adds a slight nutty flavor. I also like to add something crunchy, so I added a couple of pistachios and some cacao nibs, and this was actually so good. As you can see, the only thing that was really sweet about this was the actual berries that I added, but there was something really decadent, kind of accidentally decadent, about the combination of the tahini with the cacao nibs and the pistachios and that little bit of salty creaminess from the warm oats underneath. It was really good.
So for breakfast, I'm doing a smoothie. Surprise, surprise, I love smoothies, so I always have to make a smoothie in the morning. And I'm just starting out with some coconut water right now and adding in 2 bananas. So I saw somebody post a raspberry smoothie on Instagram and I was like, I need a raspberry smoothie. So that's what I decided to make. And I'm adding 2 dates, a cup of raspberries, and then some lime zest, and then some juice from a lime. This is about half of a lime right here. And then I pretty much always add hemp seeds and chia seeds to my smoothies. It's just like an easy way to get in some added nutrients and benefits, and you don't really taste them. So I always do that. And then I am just going to blend it on up. Usually I add greens to my smoothie, but I just didn't feel like it would go well with this combination. I also feel like it would kind of mess with the color, so I didn't this time. And just went with a fruit smoothie. It's just what I was feeling. So it was really good. The lime added a nice tartness, and I really like raspberries in smoothies. I definitely need to start making more smoothies with raspberries in them. And then shortly after that, I decided to make a latte. So I am just using my fancy new latte setup right here and grinding some fresh beans. And then I'm getting 2 shots of espresso because I'm making 2 lattes here, one for me and one for Jessie. And of course, Oatly. You have to have Oatly. I used the barista blend, put it in a glass with some ice, and then topped it off with the espresso. And it is as good as a coffee shop coffee, if I do say so myself.
Hey, it's NISHA. So for breakfast, I always cook a really big batch of tofu scramble or some kind of scramble at the beginning of the week. And I just used some of that, reheated it in the microwave, and put it on some of these siete gluten-free tortillas. And then I used some of the jackfruit from our tacos this week and some avocado, and I made breakfast tacos, and it was good. I highly recommend.
Like I said, I was sick on this day, and my friend Kate brought me these little wellness shots. A lot of times I will make something like this at home with lemon, ginger, garlic, that kind of thing, but these are really good, so I had half of each. And then later on, of course, you gotta have tea when you're sick, and I really like this one. It is a really delicious turmeric tea that if you like turmeric, you'll love it, and if you hate turmeric, you'll hate it, so just be warned. It's a very turmeric tea, but I love it with a little bit of maple syrup and some soy milk. It's so good. I actually kind of love days like this because I accidentally come up with flavor combinations that are so weird but so good. So kind of like my breakfast, I kind of just threw something together. I had a lot of veggies that I needed to use up, so I put them on a baking pan. This is potatoes and delicata squash, zucchini, some broccoli, and bok choy. Literally just a bunch of veggies from my fridge that needed to get cooked. Otherwise they were gonna go to waste and I didn't want that to happen. So I just seasoned them lightly with avocado oil, salt, and pepper. I wanted to add a little bit of protein, so I just added a little bit of tofu that I sprinkled some of the Trader Joe's mushroom seasoning on, and I just baked it. And then I decided I kind of wanted to do like nachos. So I did a little bit of tahini, salsa, and a bit of vegan cheese with some jalapenos, and this was weirdly so good. It was almost like roasted veggie nachos. There was something about the creaminess from the tahini and the squash and the potatoes with like the savory cheese and the salsa. It was so good. So weird, but so good.
Hey guys, okay, so I'm gonna walk you through my lunch that I have been making like almost every single day lately. It's been my go-to lunch, and I prep it either the night before, or if I have more time to make lunch that day, then I will prep it like for a couple of days in advance. And it's just made my life so much easier, and it's a really yummy, easy way to get vegetables in. I'm trying to eat a lot more vegetables this year, so this has definitely been helping. So basically what I do is I will get some veggies and some beans. And so these veggies I actually steamed first and then roasted them without oil. And the trick is to steam them before so they get really nice and moist before you roast them. Otherwise, it's really hard to get vegetables like Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes to get soft without any oil. So I just roasted these yesterday with some seasoning, and then I also took some canned beans as well, and then I'm going to make a little bowl out of this. Woo! And you tell I don't do food videos. All right, so I just did some rice in the rice cooker. This is just some white jasmine rice. And I'm going to add this to a bowl with the veggies and then top it all off with a sauce. All right, so we have all the veggies and the rice and the beans in the bowl. And also sometimes if I have some fresh greens, I will just squirt some lemon juice on them, saute them in a pan, and add them to this as well. That also makes for a really good bowl. And then the best part, sauce. You gotta have a sauce. So this is just a cashew sauce. It's just literally cashews, water, some apple cider vinegar, some lemon juice, and some herbs in a blender. Blend it all up. I'm gonna have the full actual recipe coming soon on a Vegan View episode, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, you can totally start making these at home with any kind of seasonings that you like. And then I just pour it. Oh, that was a lot. Some of y'all are gonna love that much sauce. I know you're out there, sauce lovers. All right, so just add the sauce and voila. So this has been my go-to lunch for a few months now. I'm honestly obsessed with it. It is so filling, so easy to make, so easy to prep, and it's just a really good way to ensure that you get in a lot of vegetables in your day, and the sauce is seriously magical.
So for lunch, I had this new Amy's chili mac and cheese. It has rice, pasta, tomatoes, and beans. And I decided to mix it with some of these Brussels sprouts I had left over. And I drizzled a little lemon juice on top. Pro tip for making delicious Brussels sprouts, the lemon just brings out a brightness in the flavor that makes your Brussels sprouts taste delicious instead of like steamed cabbage. And I just sauteed those with some garlic salt and olive oil until they were starting to develop this really beautiful brown color. And you can see the greens are a little brighter. That is when I take them out. Then I just microwaved the mac and cheese, transferred it into another bowl, and topped it with these Brussels sprouts, which was nice because it added a lighter flavor to a very heavy lunch. I feel like it tasted more like beans and rice with pasta than mac and cheese, but it was still quite good.
Dinner was really easy because I had been sleeping for most of the afternoon. I just had 2 very large bowls of lentil soup. This is a lentil veggie soup that I made earlier in the week. And whether you have homemade soup or canned soup, a really nice way to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit and bring it back to life is just to add a little bit of water when you're reheating it to make it nice and brothy, and then squeeze some lemon and have some fresh herbs on top. This is parsley, and it was really nice, really easy.
All right, so for dinner tonight, we're just having a cozy night in and ordered some takeout. So this is from an Italian restaurant, This is from an Italian restaurant in LA called Pura Vida, and it's all vegan. It's so delicious. So I got the puttanesca, and this has some tomatoes, olives, capers, garlic, parsley. It's so good. And then Jessie got this carbonara. It's also really good. I've had this one before as well. It's definitely one of the best things that they have. Just drinking some of this Waterloo strawberry sparkling water. A good tip if you are new to eating plant-based is you can almost always get a vegan pasta dish at an Italian restaurant. Just ask them if they have any pastas that don't have egg in them, and then also ask if you can have the dish made without dairy, or just like a pasta with a marinara sauce. And then you can always add veggies to it to make it a little more hearty. But it's definitely a pretty easy thing to do that makes eating out so easy.
So for dinner, me and my boyfriend ordered Fresh, which is one of our favorite restaurants. I got the Cobb salad, we shared the buffalo wings, and he got this power bowl with tofu, and Sprout definitely wanted a bite.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this What I Eat in a Day video. We hope that it gave you some good ideas and shows that there's no one way to be vegan. There's lots of different ways to eat and all different kinds of foods that you can enjoy. We will have our individual channels in the description box below and our Vegan View Facebook group, so make sure you check that out, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.